Hey, what's up, folks? This is I gotta admit, this is gonna be a favorite of mine. Somebody wanted to know how to deal with body image issues. Okay, so you may not know this. I don't even know if I mentioned this, but for pretty much my life, I've been self-conscious about how I look, how I dress, and I don't know how I present myself to the world, how people see me. But that is no longer the case. And if you allow, I'm going to try to flesh out how I even got to this point. But the short story, the short answer, and you can cut it off after this if you so please, and just try to reverse engineer, is that I just stopped trying. I I chose to present myself to the world as the ugly truth that I am, or as raw. Now, it's probably more of a bold thing to do if you're a woman, but guys care about their appearances, and I done heard it all, man. Seriously, I grow my hair out, or when I grew my hair out, people say, "Oh, you need to use a comb, you need to do that, or you need to get a haircut, you need to get it groomed, you need to get it done, you need to get all these things." So I dealt with that. I dealt with people always talking about how skinny I was, how short I like. I mean, I'm not going to hear the end of that. How short I am. I put on some weight, but people always going to talk to me about how short I am. And from what I observed from other people, not many people, but from what I observed from people who separated themselves from having these issues about the way they look, it's just that they just accept it. Because no matter how good you try to doll yourself up and make yourself be, you still gonna be ugly to somebody. So I think that, in fact, I believe that it is best that you just lose hold of how beautiful do I look? How great do I look? Just leave it alone. Because even at your worst, as I present myself like this, I look good to somebody, alright? At your worst, you look good to somebody. So I'm not saying you go out there and be straight trash, but look, don't try. Because the more energy you put towards trying to make yourself look good, the bigger the fall. Alright? The more self conscious you're going to be. Now it's like, damn, I can't have a piece of lint on me. You know, oh, I can't have a stain on my shirt even though I have children. Like, it leaves no room to be an animal, to be a human, just to have this experience, man. Like, we care so much about how we look. And I can't blame you all, because look what's on TV. A lot of superficial things. I mean, there are people making a living talking about what somebody else is wearing on a red carpet. This is a thing. Alright? And you turn on the television, everything has to be perfect. You open the magazine, everything has to be perfect. Even on social media, everything has to be perfect. But it's all a facade. It's all a facade, my friends. It's all an illusion. You know? Quite frankly, if I were somebody to take a picture of myself, it was all filtered and things like that, how could I possibly take a compliment? Oh damn, you sexy. Oh damn, or as a woman, damn, you flawless or whatever. But makeup and filters on, it's like you're putting up so much of a barrier between you and who you really are, or who you really could be. So it's like, how can you accept the compliment when what's really being complimented is how you presented yourself? How you turned yourself into a portrait of sorts. And actually, this relates back to the video that I made, and I've been speaking about this, like the power of being disgusted. When you get finally to that point, and also I speak about this in this subtle art of not giving a fuck videos. When you really get to that point where it's like, all right, man, you know what? None of this matters anymore. None of this matters. As many times I hit rock bottom, I realized. See, that's a positive thing about hitting rock bottom. You realize all the things that just actually don't matter. All right, so when you are just down and out, suicidal or whatever, like, you don't care. You don't care about how you look. You don't care about how you present yourself. You don't care if you're rude or not. I mean, whatever. But we're talking about bodies and all. You just You'd waste away. And it is until you try to uh, you find yourself among the crowd, and then you got to play this game of catch up. Like, oh, what do I say to people? Oh, let me doll myself up. Let me do all these things. That or and even when you're trying to get your life on right, you take on a lot more than you probably should at once to try to mirror the perfect society. And again, if you listen to the podcast, I throw up the quotations because, I mean, come on now, it's an illusion. All right, so very beneficial to you all who have body image issues to understand that it's all an illusion in the end. All right, is the reason why. See, there's a method to pretty much everything that I do, and it's a reason why I cut on the camera, I stutter, I don't edit anything. I wanted to keep reaffirming to you that this is imperfection, man. Like, it's so candid. It's like talking to your friend, and when you're talking to your best friend, hopefully it's your true best friend. You don't have to hide anything. All right, you present yourself as you are, and I look back at some of my old videos, and I was extremely raw, and I left myself open to being judged based on the way that I look. Nobody said anything to me about the way I look, by the way, so I appreciate that. But I mean, I done heard the things in public and in life, and I can only imagine what people have to say about me because I mean, I can really just keep putting on the same clothes, and that I'll just, oh well, okay. And I just made peace with that. But because I spent a great deal of my life feeling like I was ugly. Being dark skinned wasn't always a thing, and to be dark and somewhat ashy at times, and like I said, skinny and short, and you're not having the great clothes, and just taking that all in, and just wishing that I looked like somebody else, light skinned guys, taller, and all that, because it that was tough for me to deal with, like, but it molded me into who I am. There have been times where I really resented my little brothers, my little brothers or my older cousin because they're lighter and they don't have to do any work to get women. They just show up and the women show up to them. Like I never had that experience before, and so I really internalized that and just saw myself as ugly and not worthy and all of these things. But I wish this on you. I wish that you get to the point where you care about the things that you really want to care about. You don't just care about the things that you think you need to care about. So I mean, there's a distinct difference. I want you to be at the point where it's like, you know what? It doesn't matter how I look. All right, if I accept myself, then that's all that should matter. Now, here are a couple of caveats. Here's the thing. So, if you don't like your body, let's say you're overweight, let's say you're underweight, good news. You can do something about that. If you don't like the way if you don't like your height, you might be kind of on the shorter side. All right, so there really isn't too much you can do about that besides trying to make yourself look like a clown, putting something in your shoes or whatever. Deal with it, accept it, make peace with it. All right, like no need for the Napoleon complex. You are who you are. Present yourself to the world as that you have the right to walk mighty, just like everybody else. It doesn't matter if you're 5'4", 6'4". You deserve to walk in your greatness. All right. I mean, that's it. You have nothing to prove. Anybody who want to discount you, discredit you because of your height, well, then they ain't for you. There's no amount of convincing that you can do to bring the wrong people into the picture. All right. You will want to leave them alone, man. Trust me, that's somebody for everybody. Which brings me to my next point. There's somebody for everybody. So, I'm a very progressive person. I'm a very fair person, very flexible in my opinions, and I'm able to backtrack and all these things. But even if you're overweight, although that could show up as some health problems in the future. You know, people will want you for who you are. And of course, I would want you to be around as long as possible. I want you to be as healthy as possible. You might have kids. You might be having kids in the future. You know, you might not want to spend a great deal of your life in your 40s, 50s, and so on struggling with health problems because of dealing with obesity for so long. But even still, I mean, this is your life, and when you let go of the expectations, when you let go of your resistance towards what people may say about you, then that really frees you up to do the things that you want to do. All right, so I can only imagine, because this happens in different aspects for other people, but I can only imagine how tough it is to be overweight and go to the gym and feel like everybody's looking at you. And if you feel like going to the gym is your only option, which it isn't, but if you feel like that's the way that you're going to really put in this work, then you gotta go into it playing a little cruel trick on yourself. All right, you go to the gym expecting that everybody's going to be looking at you. You know, so that way you don't have to worry about if people are going to look. You see what I'm saying? So like you don't have to have this worry of, oh man, people might look at me, people might make fun of me. Instead, you know, you can kind of already accept it in your mind that that is the case. I mean, I know that sounds like terrible advice. It sounds like something that a lot of people can't really fathom. But it does, in a sense, take the sting out of it, because you don't have to go back and forth between, oh no, I don't think anybody's looking at me. Oh, now somebody's looking at me. Oh, they're making fun of me. This will, when you have acceptance, it allows you to just focus in on other things. When you don't have to worry about the back and forth of is it or is it not, then you can just focus on the things that you have control over. Which brings me to another point, is that you don't have control over whether or not people make fun of you, but you have control of your destiny in this regard, you being overweight. And let me just say, this may not help at all, but anybody who makes fun of somebody trying to lose weight in the gym, I mean, come on, they're fucking losers. Like, I don't care if the person making fun of this overweight person is muscular from head to toe. You got everybody looking at her. This person's a fucking loser. The person's ugly, okay? And that's the thing. My priorities have changed. So where everybody is focused on how they look and all, I'm focused on how I can win. All right, if I want to go look good in the future, then so what? I'll go do that. But for now, no. And also, and I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. It might be a little controversial, but a lot of people make themselves look good to be manipulative. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of men, for example. I'll just pick on the men. I ain't even gonna pick on the women. A lot of men, they get the fresh haircuts and the fresh Jordans, all these things, so they can impress women. Me, I'm not trying to impress anybody, and for some reason that seems to work a lot better. You know, I don't know. It's just crazy. Once you stop really caring about your body image, I'm not saying you let yourself go to waste, but when you stop caring to the point where you don't compromise who you are for the sake of pleasing everybody else, you have the power. That's power, my friends. You know, and this is why I speak on establishing who you are in the darkness, establishing who you are when nobody else is around. All right, and really see yourself. Okay, see yourself for who you are, and also see yourself for who you could be, who you can grow into. So a lot of you people who are working on your body, I know you may look in the mirror sometimes. Sometimes I even look in the mirror and say this too. But you may look in the mirror sometimes and say, "Oh man, nothing changed. I'm never gonna look like this. I'm never gonna look like that." But once I forgot where I was going with this because I got a little caught up in that. But I'm gonna try to back up a little bit. But when you can learn to accept that it's going to be a process, and when you let go of your need to change everything at once, or wanting to be perfect, wanting to be like everybody else, then you are able to endure this process even longer. I'm sorry I stumbled. I'm sure that there's a disconnect somewhere back there, but I'm gonna keep rolling with it because this is my imperfection right here. And the reason why I can make this connection is, body image with imperfection is just because once you understand that we are imperfect people, that will free you up to present yourself to the world. So this carries over beyond just the body aspect. Okay, as above, so below, as within, so without. So when you start to get a grasp of, I'm gonna present myself to the world however I want to present myself to the world, no matter what other people may say, no matter what society has to say about this, then it carries over to other aspects. So then, when you don't care about what other people may think about the way you look, or you no longer being so critical over your body, then let's say in the arts, when you create music or whatever it is, then you feel more free. Now you feel like you don't have to be in the confines there. Now you don't feel like you got to play it safe there. And that's a powerful thing. So if you can get it working for one thing, you can get it working for the other. Like a competitor, like somebody, like a Kobe Bryant, for example, who was very competitive on the basketball court, was just relentless, wouldn't give up, real Virgo energy. Now that that's over, he's not sitting back drinking mimosas. He's working on his film company. I think that's what it is. And with the same relentless nature. And so that's the importance of really just letting go, just releasing. And you do this by, when you write in your journal, you meditate, and you ask yourself what is important, what's important, and what's superficial. And when you figure that out, once you break that down, then you can start prioritizing how you will go about your own life, your own personal ventures. You start questioning what's getting in your way, what's leading you to make the decisions that you make, what led you to thinking the way that you think. You may come to the conclusion that there's some low self-esteem going on right here. Then you try to figure out what you can do to work on your self-esteem. And or by the way, I work on my low self-esteem by or lack of confidence, all of that by accomplishing things. Setting out little tasks for myself and knocking it out. Speaking highly to myself in the mirror when I'm writing down in the journal, and just not being quick to complain, but just being very slow when it comes to complaining. And just building up a level of competency in many regards, and putting the right information in my ear. I'm not going, if I'm feeling down on myself, I'm not going to spend too much time engaging in bitter activities, making fun of people, talking down on people to build myself up. That's another thing. It's you have to see it to believe it. And honestly, I'm having a hard time believing it, and I saw it. Is that a lot of people who do suffer with body image issues are very critical of other people, and like that cycle is just, it's dangerous. Like, and Facebook is trouble. There's a reason why, man. I gotta cut back, man. I gotta be on Facebook to create, because like I'm nosy sometimes. So I every once in a while somebody kind of goes viral for making a fool out of themselves, and so you hear somebody who got you've got mutuals with somebody else, and then that person who is the mutual starts talking about this particular person and says, and so then I go see what they were talking about. But anyway, because of this, I stumbled across somebody who apparently got work done on their face, their body, all of this, and because they were overweight, and apparently this person does a lot of fat shaming, and I just thought that was extremely ironic and hypocritical, and it's signs that the insecurity didn't quite leave this person. But anyway, to wrap it up, because I think this is going to cut off in a couple minutes, I just want to say that the first thing you need to do is accept. Accept the bad, accept the good. You resist it and it gets worse. So just accept. Accept where you are. Slow down the pace. Then you start getting organized. And you really get in touch with all the things that make you feel this way. Take accountability. Make sure that you're surrounding yourself around the right people, not people who are going to enable you to spin around the bottom of the barrel. You know, people who are going to uplift you without enabling you, without just securing you away from the truth. And yeah, with that being said, hey, let me know if I missed something, because I'm so candid, I'm all over the place. I didn't write this down, but man, you just got to be daring. You must be very daring when it comes to things like this. And you need to dare everything that's bothering you to kill you. That's how close you need to be getting to everything that's bothering you. You got to face it head on. And then you start to realize that, hey, look, that big scary monster wasn't that scary at all, man. And that's how powerful your imagination is. That's how powerful your will can be. But you need not turn away. Alright, because this is real life. You don't want to spend your whole life drowning yourself in things that just keep you afloat. Like, you want to get rid of these things that are bothering you. Alright, and this is the best way to do it. So, starts with acceptance, plot, plan, release, all of these things. Just start mixing it all together. Mix everything together. And check out some of my other videos which may help you with this also. So best wishes. I'm sorry if I missed anything. I'm trying my best. I'm trying to be more consistent. And alright, talk to you soon. Like and subscribe, please.